Hey there, welcome to the Friday BEAU'D Not Broken, the Daily Bend. It's the BEAU'D Friday edition. So, where's your shirt? Jeez.
I didn't get the memo.
Thanks for watching today. We are down in Pleasant Grove, Utah here, and we are with Tracy Peart. And Tracy has a really neat story and a really neat business that we're going to talk about as well. Just want to thank everybody for watching. As you watch, hopefully you'll go to the website. If you want to watch the video version, there's the website, there's the YouTube uploads and things like that. And so we appreciate everybody watching, and we again want to thank the Carlsons for yesterday. They were just great guests, and go and look at that whole video and that whole conference that they're putting on. Tracy, we're here in your home. Thanks for having me and Christian here. We appreciate it. Yeah. We've known each other for a little while, and you have quite the story. And again, this is not scripted, and you can tell us what you want to tell us. But take us, BEAU'D Not Broken is a philosophy of faith and courage and endurance, and regular people telling their regular stories of challenges and successes and things like that. And when I thought about having guests, I thought about you, because we've not talked to anybody that has we have talked to people that have lost significant others, but we've never really focused on it. So hopefully you're comfortable with that, and tell us your story, and you can jump around as much as you want. You can do whatever you want. So
Okay. Let's see. I think my story or journey, kind of in this whole process, begins 24 years ago. I met Sean and fell head over heels in love with this man, and was married to him for 20 years. Had 4 kids, 4 awesome, amazing kids, lots of great adventures in the great outdoors. Our marriage was filled full of laughter, fun, a lot of teasing, a lot of pranking, joking around, dancing in the kitchen.
Sounds like a good marriage to me.
Fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a lot of like camping and things outside, and so he just really believed that a family that plays together stays together. So that's one of the reasons why we did. It seems like every weekend in the summer we were gone playing in the outdoors, and every morning he'd kiss me before he'd leave for work, and every night love notes on the mirror, under the pillow. It was, I don't know, it was something that they write movies about.
Right.
Okay, and
right.
It was always like that, Beau, from day one to day, 20 years later. And so one day I got a knock at the door, and there were 2 men standing on my front porch, and they came to tell me that my husband was killed in a car accident. That Sean was killed in a car accident.
How long ago was that?
That was almost 5 years ago.
Okay.
So 5 years ago, we were supposed to be somewhere else that night, to my little boy's baseball game. And we had just had leftovers for dinner, and I walked down to the neighbors, and when I came back, he was gone. Somebody had came by in a sports car, and he went for a ride, and never came home. And so, kind of, I think that night when got that news, devastated. I remember sitting on the porch, and it was like I could feel my heart breaking inside my chest, and I couldn't breathe, I couldn't speak, and all these kind of thoughts, what they weren't telling, if I didn't want to believe that it was true.
Right.
Okay, and had asked for proof. One of the officers reached in his pocket and pulled out Sean's driver's license. And so I just collapsed on the porch and just started to cry. And it was tough, like looking back on kind of all of that. You know, you learn to appreciate people a whole lot more.
Right.
You know, of course,
You're
I always
strong.
appreciated. Yes.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I don't think I doubt that. You know, you two were very much faith based, religiously faith based, right?
Yes.
I would imagine. What was going through your mind, you know, as far as you know, at that time? Obviously, you were devastated.
Oh.
Were there thoughts of, oh my goodness, what am I going to do now? Where am I going to go from here, kind of a thing?
It's so weird. It was, you know, I've talked to other widows and how when they lose it, and lose somebody close to them, it's weird. It's almost like an out-of-body experience. You know, you can't breathe, you can't think, it's hard to function. But it just, you know, after the funeral and reality sets in.
I was going to ask you that. Was there a low, like
Oh.
probably a lot of low moments, but was
Yes.
there like the lowest moment?
So during that whole week, you're probably taken to your absolutely lowest low that you could possibly go, you know.
Right.
And then you're brought to like the most spiritual high. You know, you've got like at times where I could feel like angels in these loving arms kind of around me. And then, you know, of course, friends and neighbors and the community and people coming through to like show their love and support and things like
People
that.
you probably didn't even know that knew you that knew him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was just like the funeral, the turnout, the people that showed their support and their love for him. We had a candlelight vigil for Sean the day, I think it was the next night after he died. And I had talked about, you know, our lives are like ripple effects, okay? So he touched all of these people's lives and had asked everybody, next time you're in a lake, I want you to go throw a rock in for Sean. And I just want you to watch it sit there and ripple out, because that's what our lives do, is we throw in a rock or a pebble and it just, there's a ripple effect. And it can be a force for good, you know, but we can have a positive impact on people's lives. Everybody, you know, even knowing you, and you've touched my life, and I think that I've touched yours, but there's like a ripple effect with people where that you can actually, you can feel that. And so I had talked about that in the after he died, and I think it was, you know, of course after he died I fell into like a deep depression, crying all the time. It was really hard to accept the fact that he was gone. For me, it just always felt like he was on vacation, that he was going to come whistle and kind of walk through the door and spin me around and dip me, hug and kiss me, and just prank you, you know, or punk you. But it was hard to accept. But I think when I got being so broken, you know, I went through a phase.
BEAU'D.
I was BEAU'D, okay. Went through that phase where it almost felt like you lost everything, at least everything that you cared about. You know, I went through a period, it seemed like Sean's mom passed away 18 days after he did.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So the kids not only lost their dad, but their grandma, and we had 2 funerals back to back.
Will you talk about that as well? Finish your thought, but I do want to talk about the kids too.
Yeah, it was really hard. I actually made my bishop sit down and tell the kid. I couldn't even form the words.
The thoughts that come to my mind are, you know, you're trying to take care of yourself, and then you have these children that, you know, are watching their mom, and, you know, dad's not coming back. You know what? I'm sure there became situations where you were trying to figure out how you're going to deal with your own mourning, but help the kids deal with that as well.
Oh, most definitely. I think that, you know, I look back now, and it's been 5 years, and so much has changed in 5 years, and I've grown as a person, as a woman, wife, mother, all of that. I've seen how much strong my kids are, how resilient they are. But, you know, there was a house full of mourning for several years, and, you know, cleaning out his truck and cleaning out the closet and deciding. I went through a period of depression, went through a period of anger. I think I was really surprised when the anger hit, and it really wasn't until I completely, and, you know, you go through, there's like stages that you go through. There's shock, denial, okay, anger. When the anger hit, yeah, I was very angry for a long time.
Angry at him?
Oh, it felt abandoned. Felt lost, alone, scared. I didn't know what I was going to do. But until bargaining with God, okay, begging and pleading and bargaining, all of that.
You should have taken me?
Yes.
You should have taken me?
He was a strong one, not me. Like,
no.
I know, but...
You're both strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I submitted and I forgave and I was able to, like, let it all go and turn it over to my Maker that, okay, this is my lot in life, I guess. But somebody once told me something. He said, first you will hurt, Tracy, okay? Then you will heal, and then you will help, okay? 5 years ago, Bo, I didn't even know, like, I look back now and I can see where, how much my soul has evolved and as much me as a person has grown, become stronger, wiser, things like that. But it wasn't until being able to, like, let it all go and forgive and just accept it all.
Right.
Accept it, thank it for what it taught me, and thank God for him, you know.
For having him around as long as he was around.
Yes,
yeah,
but it's never long enough.
Right.
The time that you get, it never feels like it's ever.
So you went from Jello to a little bit, almost hard cement. Not quite there.
Not quite.
Right.
Just still, you know. A good friend of mine. I remember he came over to the house and he was a friend of Sean's, and I said, I can't do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I am so scared. I don't want to be alone, and the kids and all of this. How am I going to do it? And he just said, Tracy, what happens to a marshmallow when you set a marshmallow out on the counter? And I'm like, it gets hard. And he said, that's what's going to happen to you, is you're going to be tried and you're tested.
Right.
It's the refiner's fire.
That's exactly what I wanted to talk about. At what point did you become that a little bit hardened marshmallow and have the courage? Because we talk about having faith and courage. What gave you, or at what point did that courage come along and you kind of stood up and said, you know, you had better days and you had better weeks? When was there a certain thing that happened to you that gave you that?
There were three defining moments. The first defining moment that I had, the marshmallow talk was nice. The
a little chocolate and graham cracker,
Peart Hill help was nice.
Right.
I realize now that you meet people in life, there's always a reason you meet somebody. Everything happens in our lives for a reason. I truly believe that. There are no accidents. Sean's accident, you know, you could call it, it was a freak accident that happened. But I think in our lives, everything happens for a reason. And, you know, it has really caused me to do a lot of soul searching. You know, at first I wanted to know the answers of why. You know, why this? Why me? Why did the kids have to go through this? Why do I have to go through this? And it wasn't really till kind of I looked inside and could kind of step outside myself where I could really kind of understand a little bit more. But then I felt when I was ready and felt like one of the defining moments that I had was I had a former police officer that I used to work with at a high school. He had stepped into my office and we were just talking, and he said, Tracy, I feel really impressed to tell you something. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, well, Tracy, I tell this advice to every single guy I arrest. Okay, I've told it to grown men and women. I've told it to teenagers. I'm going to tell it to you now. And I'm thinking, oh great, okay, what is it?
Who's
like,
this guy? He's got his,
what
he's got
is
his
this?
therapist.
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah.
And he says, have you ever seen the movie The Lion King?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yes, of course. And he says, do you remember Simba, how Simba was running through the clouds and he was yelling and screaming at his dad at Mufasa? And I started to cry, Bo, and I'm like, yes, oh my God, because that was me.
Right.
Like, I've been in the car and driving down the road and the song comes on and, you know, that trigger will hit you and you just break down and you have those types of moments. And I said, yeah, I can totally relate with that. I'm Simba. And he said, well, do you remember Rafiki? The monkey comes up, okay? And he hits Simba on the head with this stick. And Simba's like, ow, what did you do that for? And he said, it happened, but it's in the past, okay? You need to leave it in the past. Then he takes his stick and the monkey goes to hit Simba on the head the second time. Only the second time Simba ducks, okay? Simba ducks, and he actually learns. He says you can either learn from your past or not. And so it's just kind of like we can learn from it.
Right.
We can learn from our mistakes. We can learn from the past. So that was, I kind of mulled that over for a couple of weeks, and you know how you kind of goes through your brain and
Right.
sinks in.
Right.
And then I had met my grief counselor. I was actually in Walmart and had ran into this lady, and she was helping all these widows, the widow and widowers that have lost their spouse. And I remember running into her, and I was actually with my sister. And after I walked away, I looked at this lady, and I said, I asked my sister, I said, do I look like her? Did you notice how broken her countenance was? Like, and how sad this lady looked until he looked at me, and she had tears in her eyes. She says, yeah, Tracy, when Sean died, you kind of died too that day.
Right.
And we haven't been able to get you back. And I said, that's it. I'm changing. And Bo, I'm telling you, it was like that light switch where you just get it, and you are like, okay, from this day forward, I'm going to rely on faith, healing, and I'm ready to now move forward to that next step or that next chapter and focus on being happy,
Right.
you know, those types of things. So,
Right.
yeah.
It probably, you know, as each year passes and all of that, you feel yourself, obviously you still miss him, but
Yes.
do you feel yourself getting much stronger and
yes.
stronger, and kids are good and
Kids
all those
are-
kinds of things?
Kids are great. We're happy. We're doing good. And yeah, I've learned a lot about myself, about other people.
What kind of advice, or what kind of, you know, if someone's going through it or potentially could go through it, what would be your advice to them, you know, and or people that are helping people that are grief stricken like that? Because we really, you know, we really focus. I think we tend to focus on our family, those that are closest to us,
Yes.
and we look for that. What kinds of things would you, you know, now that you've gone through it, now you're out of it a little bit, what would you say to somebody if they lost, you know, maybe a neighbor or one of your family? What would you say or do that might make a difference, that made a difference for you?
You know, I think focus on, sometimes it's just all you can do to get out of bed, honestly. And if you focus on one thing that makes you happy every day, and Bo, it could be as simple as going to the gas station and getting a Coke.
No,
I mean,
I
or a
totally
bubble bath,
understand.
or a walk in nature. If you can find one thing every day.
I try and help my clients understand that as well. It's interesting you say that, because again, it's a repeating theme in our show too, is taking care of yourself.
Yes.
Because it doesn't mean you're bad if you don't take care of yourself. Doesn't mean you're not mourning someone or dealing with an issue, you know, the way you should. It's taking care of yourself in a way that will help you help everybody else, because everybody else. That's interesting. Because I don't know what I thought, but you know, losing someone like that and doing something little like going to get a Coke or
it's
laying
just,
on the floor and listening to music or whatever.
It takes you kind of back. You know, I think that's kind of that's kind of my journey where it's been going towards dating and dating up.
What would you, and we're going to get to that. Well, just one more question. I appreciate your candid, everything you're saying. Is there, so taking care of yourself, but also is it the process, letting the process go? Meaning you may process through a grieving situation different than someone else, but all those factors are going to be somewhat the same depending on time frame.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
I think looking back, one of the things why I am so passionate about what it is I'm doing is right now our world needs love more than ever. You know, is one of the reasons why. But looking back and looking at the widow and widowers,
right?
Okay, I look at my friends in grief, and I see myself wherever they're at in their journey, and can totally relate. I've heard some of their stories. I've had Modern Widows Club, Carolyn Moore on my podcast, and Jody. She's also from the Modern Widows Club. Another lady, Widows in Stilettos, and One Foot Widow. And
Widows in Stilettos.
Oh, she's awesome. Like these women and these widows, but hearing their stories and what they went through and how strong they are, how much they've overcome, it makes me, like, you hear their stories and you just want to put your arms around them, you know, and from them sharing their story in some way, shape, or form, I know that they have helped me.
Right.
But I know because they've helped other people. We had a widower on our podcast last week who talked about his wife was 7 months pregnant and she took her own life. And, you know, all of these stories that all these people have and they share, you know.
It's probably a good time to share what you're doing.
Okay.
Because we'll switch gears a little bit and talk about your passion, your newest or your latest, whatever passion, good passion, love. Tell us that little journey as well.
One of the reasons why I think I wanted to do this is I would love for my customers to experience that kind of love that I had. Okay, that I was lucky enough in this lifetime to experience.
You're the CEO of Dating Up, which is how does it relate to maybe eHarmonies and all those other things that will help people understand what it is?
We're totally different. We are one of the things when I started dating again, and I've tried all of the websites, Beau. I mean, there came a point where I was lonely. And I was wanting to find love again.
Right.
But I wanted true love. Okay. I wanted to find that again. And I remember going on these dating sites, and I was like, I've met lots of really great people online. There's a lot where I'm still really good friends with people online. But then too, I also had some really bad experiences. And
would you share one of those?
I will share.
I know you have a few. But,
I have a few that kind of blew my mind. I had met a guy that was a convicted felon online, and when I found out he was a registered sex offender, I also dated a guy that stole my late husband's motorcycle. Okay, out of the garage.
Well,
yeah, that motorcycle had a lot
of
sentimental
you really liked him.
value.
Yeah.
So, but when I found out that it was him that took the bike,
right?
Okay, it made me very angry.
Right. Well, it should.
Yeah. And but been scammed, been catfished, been stood up, been ghosted. I've had all of these types of experiences, and the one that I think really got to me, I had somebody tell me that they were widowed also. Okay, cried on the
plan
date.
to the plan. Oh, really?
He cried over his pasta. We were at the Olive Garden, and told me that he was widowed too. And a month later, I get a phone call from his wife, and I'm like, what? I'm like, who lies about?
Really?
Yeah.
Who lies about that? There are a lot of guys that probably do, and women. you know, that do.
Yes.
So
And
this was, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I just got to the point where I was just absolutely fed up.
Okay.
I think the straw for me that really broke the camel's back was when the guy stole the motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to my other girlfriends and guy friends,
Mm-hmm.
and the guys are saying, Tracy, it is just as bad for us guys
Right.
as it is some of the women.
Okay.
The women are saying, I had another lady step forward, and she said, I met a convicted felon too and dated him for 2.5 months, and I didn't know. And I'm like going, you can't tell, Beau. Like, there's a lot of predators online, and it has become a huge problem. MTV has a show called The Catfish.
Mm-hmm.
Manti Te'o, he was Catfish Shasho. He's an NFL superstar.
Mm-hmm.
There's been lots of people on Dr. Phil, the same thing. And I ended up calling a friend of mine, and I said, this is what's happening out there. Somebody needs to do something about it. And told him my story and my idea, and he says, you're just the person to do that. You are just the person to do that. And so for the last 1.5 years, we've been working on partnering up with a background check company where we are going to make sure everybody is vetted, verified, and confirmed.
That's really the essence of what difference it is for between you and some of these other ones, is that thorough, monitored background. To be a member of your site and your services, people are going to have to, you know, submit to a very thorough background check. I know, I don't know, I've never been on those sites. I'm afraid of them, but I know that they don't do the same types of things. They don't background it out and look and monitor it and things like that. Complaints will be coming in, and can you check them out further, type of thing.
Yes.
So you're and the name of the company is
Dating Up.
Dating Up, and the services that you're going to provide, obviously in the background. But are there any other nuances that I know you're doing? You're doing some podcasts. Trainings. What else are you doing?
Right now we're doing
Or
the
will
podcast.
be doing.
Okay, the thing that where I am most excited, most passionate about, once we get going and all of our members are vetted, verified, and confirmed, we have partnered up with different people across the United States. Everybody from dating coaches to divorce attorneys. If you're have gone through a divorce and you need some advice, either that way or with dating, co-parenting, widowhood. Our podcasts are very real. They're very raw. They talk about all sorts of things.
Right.
One of the things that I'm really excited that we've wanted to do at Dating Up is I am really passionate about giving back and paying it forward, spreading love in this world and making the world a better place than what you've left it. So
safe love.
Yeah, safe love.
Safe love.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good.
And so we're going to partner up with charities nationwide, and we're going to give back.
So this is not just Utah.
No.
Obviously,
No.
it's going to be in the United States, maybe worldwide as well. Looking that way.
It's
But you gotta
looking
get-
worldwide.
okay.
Actually, I have. I just did an interview with Girls Ask Guys magazine. They're out of Argentina.
Girls Ask Guys magazine.
Yes,
Okay.
it's GAG magazine. Girls
Uh-huh.
Ask Guys. Have people messaging me from Dubai. I
Wow.
even had to get a map out and look where
Wow.
some of these places I've never heard of are at. And so
Wow.
we're launching here in the United States. But yeah, we're looking to take
Where
it
can people
across
go
the
right
nation.
now? Where can people go right now to your opportunity? We want to plug everything.
Okay, they can go to it's at datingup.net, and they can sign up there, and and then you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
And dating up, the reason for dating up, just like marrying up, is that kind of it?
Yeah, if you're fed up, try dating up.
Well, it sounds like quite an interesting, a lot different than usual.
So right now, is it just a warm-up kind of thing for apps to come out and different things like that? Or is it just to get on the waiting list type thing?
Right now, we're just getting ready to launch our beta.
Awesome.
We're launching the beta first, and then as we bring people on. So yeah, we've got 10,000 followers so far on social media.
Good.
So
Nice.
yeah.
That's great. Well, obviously, good luck with that. It's much needed because it is a freak show out there. It really is.
It is.
For people that are married, you know, they've heard about it. Yeah, you've met married men.
I've met married men.
Right.
That was, you know, we're solving the number one complaint in the United States. Number one is that they aren't real, and number two that they're married. And now that we've partnered with another company, and we're also able to verify their marital status. So not only are we able to vet them, verify and confirm, but also verify if they are as single as they say they are, or if they are widowed, or if they are divorced. So that has been what has kind of taking us a while. Is it's a service that I'm able to provide back to my customers. I feel that it is hugely needed. It'll be very, very valuable, especially I have had a lot of guy friends say they're so excited because I've had men that say, Tracy, I go on these dates and I spend $60, $70 and we go out to sushi, and then I find out that the woman is married and I'm out, you know, dinner and this money, you know, and so.
What's wrong with that? I'm just kidding.
Well, finding out that the person is married.
Avoids all the scum out there.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's hence dating up.
Yes.
I think that I just had one question about that. Do you find it difficult finding? I know it's been difficult to find, you know, doing some dating. But do you find it's different when a man hears that, or I guess on the other side, when a man finds that you're a widow, do you think that is that different than the other, maybe just people that have just gotten divorced or single or whatever?
Yeah, I've had some experience with that, and you know, I've had somebody, when I tell them that I'm widowed, actually take like 2 steps back.
Oh.
And
like you have a disease.
And you know, and you have to learn when you're dating not to take anything personally. You have to take everything with a grain of salt. You know, this is why I take what we're doing at Dating Up. We're going to have a level up program, but there's also, we're going to teach people in our toolbox, and to teach people, you have to love yourself first. Okay, you have to take and focus on yourself first. Get healthy. A lot of these men and women that are coming out of divorces, they feel like they're broken. I know I felt like I was broken.
But they didn't know that.
Through
till now.
widowhood, through divorce, through these challenges and trials of life, okay? Where we're going to focus on teaching men first how to be gentlemen, okay? And the women, you know, so we're having all sorts of stuff, teaching people, I guess, how to date again. You know, you come out of at least me being married for 20 years and coming out into the dating world, it was such an eye-opener. There is a lot of crap out there. And we are raising the bar by raising the barrier to entry to get in. You know, if you want to come to Dating Up, you know, the bar will be raised.
And it's not a bar. It's not a financial bar. It's a moral, ethical bar. Is what you're raising.
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty neat. What you're offering is what I think we try and do here too. Is we offer a little bit of hope.
Yes.
And a lot of hope, and trying to get that courage to actually go out on a date or actually ask somebody. I could totally, you know, you can totally get it. And weeding through, being patient, and not jumping,
Don't jump in.
Jump fast, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, you have to follow your heart. But I think when you begin dating, and for me, you know, I had to feel like I was ready to begin dating. You know, obviously it's different for widows and from divorcees, but you know, I've had men that haven't really wanted to date me because I'm widowed, or because I have 4 kids, or you know, these types of things. So I'm not looking for everybody. I'm looking for one person, and to have people to be able to find that somebody special for them. You know it when you meet somebody and there's that click. you've got that attraction, that chemistry, those types of things. It just works.
Well, we've talked about it with. I know we're getting close on time, but we talked with Christian's wife Linda, just in another conversation about self-worth and things like that. Vulnerability. I think vulnerability is something that needs to be taught to everybody in a good sense, meaning men, learning how to let go of that macho thing, and then the women feeling safe enough, the guys feeling safe enough as well, but to be vulnerable, to allow yourself to maybe think about, because there's dating, and then there's, you can date as many people as you want, but then there's also, like you said, you want people to find that love. You want those people, that genuine love and appreciation and friendship and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, and you have to build that base of friendship. My dating site, it's not a swipe left, swipe right. We're actually focused on having real relationships with real people, and building that friendship and that trust. And when we do our charities, and we're going to partner with charities like Make-A-Wish and Habitat for Humanity and some of these charities, where we can invite people and singles together to come out and pick up a hammer and nails. And what better way to work next to somebody and get to know them and serve other people? I
think with Christian and I asked Christian a question about this. I think we had to partner up, BEAU'D Not Broken and Dating Up. We had to partner up and they used to do those auctions for dates. Remember those? That could be fun. That could be funny.
Actually,
you make a lot of money for you can make a lot of money for all the. You get 10.
You get 10 singles. You get a quality guy up there, and I'll be bidding on it.
Well, that's what I mean. You'll that would be. Anyway, maybe something for the future. We can tag team that and make a big fun event.
With the guys, I think it would.
Guys and girls.
I think it would be fun to give that money back to charity.
Exactly.
And do some fun stuff.
I think it'd be fun.
I think so too.
Thank you for joining me and us here on BEAU'D Not Broken. You have quite the story, and it really. I'm glad people are able to see it and hear it, and hopefully those that are out there that are single will gravitate to your site and provide some real needed service out there. I won't elaborate even.
Just
at all,
hope,
but
just hope. We're a message of hope, and just to remind people, what you seek is also seeking you. They're looking for you just as much as you are them, and you want something good and wholesome, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're perfect. You're perfect for that. It's definitely, your cause definitely fits you. And, very strong message.
Did you ever get the motorcycle back? That's what I want to know.
Sure did.
Did you?
I did.
Did he get prosecuted?
Yeah, he did.
Nice.
It did.
It's good to hear.
About a year and a half later, got that motorcycle back and was stoked to get it back. But I was when I found out he took it, I was like, but it's okay. It's one of those things where I think I had to go through all that. So I've been where my customer is at. I've actually been in the trenches.
That's
Army
why you're
crawl.
so perfect.
That's why I know what it's like out there.
Yeah.
Want to provide something better.
Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate it very much. Want to thank everybody out there and for watching, and appreciate you, all your comments, questions, and those folks that want to be on the show that have great. We want to create an environment where people can come, or we can come to them and tell their story and their journey. We all have such great examples of how we've overcome different types of things, and that's what BEAU'D Not Broken is. Don't forget to go to the website, BEAU'DNotBroken.com. Don't forget to go to Dating Up if you're interested in that. Don't forget to start watching us again on Monday. It is Friday. It is BEAU'D Friday. Got the Hulkster on. It's my believe it or not, it's my first Hulkster shirt in about 3 years.
I like it.
Yeah, BEAU'D Friday.
I like
you can wear it underneath your shirt, your uniform.
Everybody's a
superhero. You're all superheroes, and thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.